Chris to subscribe, and then the bell. Swoosh! Do you get swooshes on your channel? Maybe
No.
you get swishes.
Never before.
I think he made that up.
Swoosh. So explain. Oh, it's the fire. It's the yeah.
There's
the
a
swoosh.
fire pit on my channel. Brandon's channel, I think he has he's like water and it's like a spray,
Like a spray.
It's like a spray.
That's what I get.
There's like a water spray, like fire hose, swish, comes out.
All right. So
She's laughing a lot here. Right
so
now.
every time I get a subscriber, I get a spray.
It's Coach Greg, and I'm here with special guest Brandon Harding.
What's up?
At his place in Toronto, and I'm out here out angling him with his special lens.
I gave Greg the wide side.
Yeah, he's making me look big. He's a lot bigger than me. We're basically going to answer a bunch of questions that were asked from people on Instagram. So I said that, I'm going to interview Brandon, and what do you want to know? So I'm here, and we're going to read them out, and we're both going to answer and see, and we might have the same answer, or we might not. Let's start by saying he is not a doctor. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Do not listen to anything we say. Well, you can listen to it, just don't do it, okay?
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question. What do you think about clen?
If you're not in the right mental state or physical, if you're not ready to take it, it can destroy your life, I think. Because if you're
Destroy your life. That's some serious stuff.
If you're at the final stages of a diet and you're really susceptible to any emotion or feeling or just the slight change in a diet, clen will take over your life. I have an experience where I was driving to the supermarket. I was going to Tesco. I was 2 weeks out, and I upped my dose of clen to double what it was. You actually made a video about this, ripping me apart. I was on 40 and I went straight up to 80. This is information fed to me from someone that I used to work with, and I did exactly what they said to do. I went straight to 80 clen, and I was there on the steering wheel, just shaking, and I couldn't think about anything else. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't even watch the road. I was just it was taking over my whole life. But if used in correct dosages, I feel like it can be very, very beneficial. It can, finalize someone's physique at the very end of a prep. But if abused, like I have done in the past, it can just be very, very strong. Yeah, I didn't have the best experience with it, to be honest.
And my experience, I like it. I don't suggest you use it year round. Like you said, the end of a prep. But the problem is people are overdosing. They take way too much. Everyone takes too much. I'll tell somebody, take one drop. They take the whole dropper, and then they're shaking, freaking out, and it's not good for your heart, and so it shouldn't be abused, and a lot of people rely on it. This is the stuff to take after you hit a plateau, not to start a diet. You're 50 pounds overweight. I'm taking clen. No, lose half of the weight and then take it when you need it, okay? But don't take it, because it's clen. We're not advising you to take it.
At the end of a prep, it'd be really silly to utilize clen at the beginning. Let's just say you're 12 weeks out from your show, and you start taking clen at the very end. It's gonna be very hard to either at the end of your prep, you're gonna have to take a bunch more because your body's already gonna be used to it. You may have been, you may be able to utilize cycling it on and off, but regardless, I would not take it until the very end stage. If you, let's just say your prep was 12 weeks, I'd say the last 3 weeks, just to finalize it, or I don't know.
Yeah, never start your prep on clen. But if you want to end it, you can. But a lot of coaches do this 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or 1 week on, 5 days in a row, and off on the weekends. No. Wait till the end.
But overall opinion on clen, it's good, it's strong, but be very careful with
Agreed.
it, and don't take too much.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, let's see the next question. Oh, I didn't say who asked that. Geocast1 is who asked that. Next question from Ed Einold. What's your opinion on the best cardio to do for muscle growth?
It can't be serious.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Cardio is to burn fat, not for muscle growth. So I suppose the best cardio for muscle growth would be HIIT cardio if you don't weightlift. But if you do weightlift, any kind of cardio could kind of play a hindrance on your muscle gain. So
yeah,
I mean, the question seems kind of dumb.
So yeah, cardio, no. You're not gonna build muscle doing cardio, it's impossible.
Yeah, so be careful with cardio to build muscle.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on. Oh, question from Kelvin Azizwood. He wants to know who would win in an arm wrestle between Doc Gregg and Brandon Hard.
I got the same question
Boy.
like 10 times. Brandon Hardboy.
There he goes.
I have like
highly sought after questions.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Should we?
I'll ask you what you think.
I think that if we
had a real arm wrestle, who would win? That's what he wants to know.
I think I'd win.
I think he would also win. We agree. I'm not good at arm wrestling, and I have short arms. And if you have long, let's see, put your arm up. So, like, let's see if your hand's like, whoever has like a longer arm is a longer lever, and it gives you like the wheelbarrow adventure. Longer arms, better leverage.
I'm gonna lift it back
and
up.
I'm really not that good at arm wrestling, so I would be surprised if I could beat him in an arm wrestle. And I'm not gonna do it because the last time I arm wrestled, I hurt my arm for about 3 months.
Oh no, I was the same. I was in Portugal earlier this year, and I used my left arm, which is my weaker arm, and my elbow gone for like 2 months. Like I couldn't like go underneath a squat bar because I'd be like bringing my elbow like overextended, and like my elbow was just gone. No, I wouldn't recommend that.
And I've seen guys arm wrestle and literally break their arms. I've coached guys that have done this. They're like, oh man, I can't train anymore. What happened? I arm wrestled, broke my arm. It's crazy, it happens. So careful with the arm wrestling.
The idea of arm wrestling does sound like kind of fun, but that's like the curse of it. Like, oh, arm wrestling, like who can be the strongest? But at the same time, like that's like the worst part of it. Like, you know, you're lured into the arm wrestle. Like, it'd be great if we did. It would be great to find out who would win an arm wrestle between me and Greg, but one of us
would win.
One of us could leave with a severely broken arm. So
yeah, and it would be me probably.
But you've got like matured strength, dude.
I'm not strong.
You could wipe me out. You're not strong. I've seen
not in an arm wrestle.
I've literally seen videos of you, like over the past 10 years, like get like the most amount of weight lifted in like a certain amount.
Yeah, lift weights, but not do this.
Okay, all right.
It's just not my thing. I've entered arm wrestling competitions, and I did all right, but I was not good. There were little guys that smoked me, so.
Okay, Greg is a modest doctor. He's modest.
I'm just honest. I know I'm not good at arm wrestling. I can beat Allie, right? Right, babe? Yeah, I can still beat my girl. I can beat all my family, but I'm not amazing.
All right, okay.
El Masamaruni one. El Misamarone. You read that.
Well, it's an abbreviation of someone's name, so El Misamaroni.
That sounds good. Anyway, that person wants to know, is it possible to wait too long to make a bodybuilding debut? You can't make the weight class because you'd be too advanced for regionals even though it's your first contest.
You can go.
I'll start with that. That's a stupid question. What do you mean? Is it to wait too long that you can't make your weight class? There's a weight class for everyone, okay? So if you want to compete at 400 pounds shredded, you can at a regional show. There's no weight class. Now, if you mean classic physique, then yeah, you could be too big for classic. You can't make the weight. But then you do bodybuilding. Then you just weigh in at super heavyweight.
Yeah, with competing, there's that many like categories these days. You can fit into pretty much any category. There's a show for everyone. So if you're like waiting, I feel like that's a lot of just procrastination. You should just like find a show that you can do and then go do it. Yeah,
one thing I don't like is people who are scared to compete. I'm not competing till I can win and break this record. It's like, if I took that case, I would never have done a show till I was, what, 35? It would have been my first show. I would have skipped out on the first 55 shows I did. Like, why?
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to be the best to compete. You're allowed to compete. You're allowed to run a race and not run a mile in 4 minutes. You gotta start somewhere.
And you learn so much from competing as well. Like, you will know so much more your second show from the information that you learned from your first show. And if you're just waiting and just like putting it off, you're gonna be missing out on so much like growth from experience, because you learn when you're doing it. So like, there are things that you learn from competing that you can't be taught, because it's what you have to feel. It's an experience you have to go through to know whether you can do more of it. Because some people hate prep and some people love prep. But yeah, if you just do it.
Yeah, and if you hate prep, it's not the sport for you. You gotta kind of like it. I did 58 shows, you kind of just starting, but you have to kind of like it to want to do it. You know, I like the journey.
You done 58 shows?
58 shows.
Oh my God. I've done 5 shows. Next show is going to be like a pro card attempt, so it's hopefully going to be the hardest and biggest show. But over the past 5 shows, every single show I've learned something new. So don't wait.
I'm still learning every show something new.
Oh, wow.
My last show I learned about Gravol suppositories when you're ready to throw up. That was a good experience. I learned tons.
All right.
I learned how to flex on stage when you're ready to throw up the whole time. Or how to not eat for 24 hours and be dehydrated and still place fourth.
I saw you at Wayne's falling asleep. Just gone.
That's half narcolepsy and half dying to make the weight class. It's a bit of each.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was brutal. Oh my God. What's this next question? Will Cowwatt asked, do you think we should colonize Mars or at least try and advance ourselves to a place where we have the option to do it if necessary? Should we of course we should colonize Mars. Eventually the world's going to be over. What do you think? They should, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
We'll be overpopulated.
Overpopulation. You got to move somewhere else. Eventually we're going to expand and move beyond. What do you think?
I think the idea that we've been trying to build up our whole existence, skyscrapers, and just expand on the world,
Lots
like
out there.
yeah, exactly. But I don't think we have utilized the ability to build down into the earth. I mean, if ants right now, they colonize, they build under the ground, they like build homes underground. We've just been like mundanely building up our whole lives because it's just like what we think is the right way to do things because it's all we've done. But I think there's more space underground that can be utilized before we start putting a lot of money into
What movie did
moving.
we see where they built down underground just a couple weeks ago?
Ants. It's an animation. It's made 10 years ago.
I don't think it was ants.
No, I'm joking. Of course it wasn't. It's a kid's film.
I forget that. No, it was these guys. They were rich and the world was going to end and they were upset. I forget.
I feel like it'd be cheaper to build down than to colonize Mars.
We did watch this. It wasn't a movie.
Elon Musk is trying to build down.
Really?
Yeah, he's got it sorted out. He's got it figured out.
Samajai wants to know, if there's only one exercise you can do for each body part for the rest of your life, what would it be? Like for your chest, back, thighs, whatever.
If there's only one exercise you can do for the rest of your life, or one exercise
For any body part. We don't have time to say everything, but so
I would deadlift.
deadlift for the whole body?
I feel like the deadlift like pretty much covers more muscles than most lifts.
It would?
I thought, yeah, if I could do one lift for the rest of my life, it would be the deadlift. I'm not going to cover every muscle and each exercise I do, but yeah, the deadlift, I'd be happy with that.
And what's your second favorite exercise that you could do? Just to really push it in.
Why? It's just, I love the lateral pull down. The lat pull down, not the lateral
go.
pull down. I don't know,
Unique answer.
I feel the most going on. Like, contracting my whole back, I feel like I'm just doing more than just doing a bicep curl, you know what I mean? I also really like the lat pull down. Yeah. I love training back.
I would have said bench press for sure, but now I can't bench press anymore, so it's not that. And I would have said deadlift second, but I can't do those anymore because of my hip. So what would be my favorite exercise now? Babe, what do I like to do?
It has to be an exercise that you're willing to do for the rest of your life.
Bike riding. Does that count? I would want to bike ride, because even if I can't lift weights and my joints are all, at least I could bike ride.
Okay, bike ride.
So bike ride, there you go.
I'll
Might have
be-
some quads, you know.
I'll be here deadlifting, destroying my back, and this guy will be just getting healthier and healthier.
I might
There we go.
outlive him, potentially. Drew Slidler says, why is Brandon on so many different supplements? Wouldn't it be better if he was only taking like a few? So that way his blood test isn't good, you guys would know which drug caused it. So what do you think?
I think that, to be honest, right now, like stuff that I'm on is substantially less than I have pretty much ever been on, and that's through like, you know, being more educated from working with Greg, and obviously like being with someone previously, and just like information that I've been fed over the past 6 years of bodybuilding. I thought previously that I would have to be on more stuff to achieve whatever, because you hear all these stories about, you know, this bodybuilder, he's taking, you know, this much test and this much masteron and whatever else, and you think that you would have to take a similar amount to look like that, but it's not the case. I'd rather it take longer and get there healthier than just get there instantly, because the people that just take a bunch of stuff because they want to be massive tomorrow, they're the ones that, you know, receive the severe like health, bad things to their health. But obviously, like through working with Greg, I've down pretty much a lot from what I was doing, and results have actually have surpassed what I've ever achieved in the past, weirdly so. Like it's like less is more. I'm learning as the months go on. So I would argue that statement is completely wrong, because they're like, oh, why is Brandon on so much stuff when I'm actually not?
Yeah, and to add to this, I've gotten a lot of flack because I've taken like 8 or 10 things for a show, and they're like, oh, you're on so much. Well, just because you're on 10 different things doesn't necessarily mean you're on a lot. Yeah. So for example, if you're on one thing and it's 2,000 milligrams of tren, that's insane. Yeah. Or if you're on 10 things and it's a tiny dose of each, well, that's a lot safer. So you can't judge it on how many things it is. It's like, what exactly. Is the whole? What's it doing to you?
Yeah.
John Tam Queen wants to know, will he make the top of his weight class and still be lean? That's a lot of muscle to put on, if so. So what do you think?
Me?
Yeah, they want to know, are you going to be able to compete at the very top of your weight class?
I think it would take me a very, very long time to compete at the top of my weight class. I competed at my last show at 191 pound, which at the amateur level is 39 pound down from what I can cap at. So I would literally have to build almost 40 pound of sheer muscle mass to cap out as an amateur, 49 pound as a pro. So the idea of me gaining almost 50 pound of muscle in the next like couple of years is it's impossible.
And it's in months. I get these questions all the time. They're like, Brandon's too big for classic. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
He can get way bigger and still be classic. You guys have no idea how big these classic dudes are, especially when you're tall like this guy. You can weigh so much and be so big. Don't worry. He's going to make the weight class. He's going to be shredded, and he's going to still have more muscle to gain in the future.
If I gained 35 pound of lean muscle mass, I would still meet my weight cap.
There you have it. So we're not worried about that.
Yeah.
Okay, Simon Kazkakov wants to know, opinion on power building. If it's possible to gain not only muscle, but strength on a deficit, or would the impact on recovery be too much? So what do you think, power bodybuilding? Do you think...
What's my opinion on it?
Yeah, can you gain muscle and strength on a deficit while doing that? Calorie deficit.
Well, powerbuilding in general, like I do like the idea of it, but I feel like more from like a fun standpoint. I feel like if you're trying to be competitive in either bodybuilding or powerlifting, you should commit to one or the other, because obviously if you're trying to like power build, one could potentially take over the other, or the progress from that like specific one. If you're trying to like just perfect a deadlift, I feel like you should aim towards like just doing that to get it as strong as you can. Per se, like I don't know, if you want to be a bodybuilder, be a bodybuilder. If you want to be a powerlifter, be a powerlifter. I feel like power building is more for just like people that want to look good and build a lot of muscle, but also be strong at the same time. But trying to get stronger, build muscle in a deficit, I know you have like such a view on this, and I don't want to argue with it because like
it's fine to disagree.
I think it'd be very hard to do. I think building muscle in a deficit is possible. I think getting stronger in a deficit may be possible individually, but trying to do both, get bigger and stronger in a deficit, I don't want to. I don't know. I don't really think it's possible. I'm gonna say it. I think it's possible to do one of them, but to try and just excel as a human being while in a deficit, maybe your whole life or whatever. I don't know. I feel like you should spend a good amount of time in a surplus. And why would you want to be in a deficit for that long anyway? Why wouldn't you want to progress faster? Because I think if you were in a surplus, you would progress faster. Especially if you're trying to be a power builder, you need to give yourself the best chance. So I don't know. I think it's, yeah.
So, okay.
I don't know.
So can you build muscle and get stronger in a deficit? It's possible. It's not easy, and it really depends. If you're new to the sport and you just started, pretty easy. If you're 44 years old like me, I'm not actually 98, I lied, I'm not, I was 44, and I want to get stronger while dieting, it's not going to happen. My relative strength might go up, but my absolute strength, like how much I can actually lift, is going to go down. Pound for pound, I might get better, so that could happen.
But there's also a lot to argue as well, because when I start prep within the first 6 weeks, based on obvious supplementation, I actually get stronger while losing weight. So
add supplements, that could change everything.
As a natural athlete, I feel like it is obviously a lot harder, but an unnatural athlete, I've learned that, and many people that I know, that when they start prep and start like introducing things to their routine while in a deficit, they actually get they might, like, all my lifts go up on prep when
At
I'm
first,
when I'm
mine will
losing
go
weight.
up
But obviously,
on supplements.
on the other half of it, 6 weeks out to the show, I'm getting weaker.
Horrible.
Yeah.
No strength the last month.
You know.
Like, yeah, it
But-
falls apart.
But when your body gets the taste of some things, you get strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next question from JK_01. What are your tips for a 14-year-old going to the gym?
Okay, first off, do you think you should be going to the gym at 14?
100%. I was in the gym at 10. By 14, I was benching more than half the people watching this video.
Yeah, I think I was going to the gym at 13 because when I was doing boxing training, I was lifting weights, I was doing the bench press and like basic things. If you start bodybuilding at 14 and then you have like incorrect form until 18, the idea of like you like getting better from having done the wrong thing for like 4 years is like very hard to do. So just make sure if you go into the gym at 14 years old that you are doing it right and you have someone to like watch over you. A tip is to like record your own form. So like set your phone up, record yourself to like see if like you're doing a squat and your like knees are caving in. You might not feel it, but it could be happening, and your friends might not tell you because they don't want to like be like, hey dude, like your form's shit, because they're a good friend or like a bad friend, either one. So like record yourself, make sure you're doing things right, and like, you don't know, just be safe, I would say.
Yeah, just to add to that, I would say don't go heavy, leave your ego at the door, and keep the reps high. And if you do that, you're not gonna get hurt and you can learn. But most kids that start, they try to lift too heavy, they're trying to impress their friends and just lift big weights and get injured. That's bad.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button after subscribing. It's right next to the subscribe. Press the subscribe and then the bell. Swoosh! Do you get swooshes on your channel? Maybe
No.
they get swishes.
Never before.
I think he made that up.
Swoosh. So explain. Oh, it's the fire. It's the
There's
the
a
swoosh.
fire pit on my channel. Brandon's channel, I think he has he's like water and it's like a spray,
Like a spray.
it's like a spray.
That's what I get.
There's like a
sprays.
water spray, like fire hose, swish, comes out.
All right. So
She's laughing a lot here right
So
now.
every time I get a subscriber, I get a spray.
Remember the one where you did something and it was like poof, and bubbles came out of your mouth?
No,
Poof!
little,
It was like
cloud.
poof, cloud of puff,
Yeah,
puff
like
wheat
bubbles.
came out or something.
Press that bell button so you get the.
How do we follow you?
1 second. I just thought we gotta edit this part out. When you should have ended the first one first because then it was dark outside. It's gonna be dark to light.
No one notices that because my subs are morons.
Hey.
They're morons! Not everyone. Only 90%, 50%. So all of you cannot be morons because it's the other 50%. So it's the person sitting next to you. Yeah, you over there on the right. And yeah, you in the background. You're a moron because you're not even watching. You're just sitting in the background.
We didn't end the first video, so now it's dark outside. So now we're gonna end it now. Follow Greg.
Follow me on Instagram because I have no followers there. It's like 60,000. It's like a bazillion. And follow me on YouTube, but you are because you're on me right now. Subscribe, click the bell button, GregDoucette.com, hire me for coaching. And swoosh, it appears, and then he's Brandon Hardbody, he does all the stuff. You already know who he is. Follow his video there. Follow my video there. We are out. Perfect. We did it.
Then
Then we have to press this.
That's what we.